because the homes are failing and the schools necessarily will fail because of what the expectations are.
Okay, so one of the things we've recommended, particularly with the social and emotional and the behavioral issues, because some children do have behavioral disorders, they've gone undiagnosed, and those things are playing out in the context as well. Some children have other kinds of difficulties that are not being diagnosed, we're not figuring out. Children are coming into school with post-traumatic stress and anxiety and depression. We're not figuring out, we're not sifting out who has no right to be misbehaving. So for example, I would say my son has no right to be misbehaving because he knows right from wrong and he doesn't have an issue. But there are children, and it may be, given the level of violence in our society, a number of them who might simply be suffering from all kinds of stress, having witnessed violence, experienced violence, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But how do we know? We don't know, because the personnel we have in schools and the personnel we have attached to schools can't diagnose those issues. So in truth and in fact, what we've often recommended is, you know, a multidisciplinary team with your social worker, with your clinical psychologist, school psychologist, with your occupational therapist, who can then figure out, the child is referred. At this point, we don't have a system where a child is identified and the teacher says, you know, that child is going to pop off, something is going to happen. That teacher does not have an option to say, let me refer.